The captain of the Vagabond out of San Diego was faced with the following dilemma. He had a 5-day trip, horrible weather out on Tanner and Cortez Bay. So he scratched his head and said, we're going to run. We're going to run 460 miles down to an area called the Ridge where the yellowfin tuna fishing has been incredible. But that would leave us with literally 1 day of fishing from 9 o'clock until 6 o'clock in the evening. Well, they made that long run down. And passenger Patrick Harnjack was saying, I don't know, man, this is a long way. Is this going to pay off? I just talked to Patrick. He said it was epic. In less than 5 hours, over 300 yellowfin tuna in the 30 to 60 pound class on the Vagabond. They saw an enormous whale shark, hooked several marlin, caught yellowtail. It was a trip of a lifetime. The captain of the Vagabond making the right decision. Really a gutsy move to run so far down the Baja coast and pull it off. Now they've got 2 days to come home and lick their wounds because they got to be sore after catching so many. Then we're going to switch over to the Amigo out of 22nd Street Landing in San Pedro, California for another 2-day adventure. October 6th through the 8th should be another great trip. Tanner, Cortez Bank, and anywhere else the fish are, and or the Amigo. Best weather months of the year, and hopefully lots of fish for you to catch. Hey, good Friday morning, everybody, and welcome to beautiful Surfside, California. It is so great to be with you all this lovely early morning, standing on the beach. You got to feel blessed. It is absolutely beautiful. There actually is a pretty good breeze coming off the beach here this morning, but out on Tanner and Cortez, we've got great news on the weather. We're going to talk about that. How about some 40-plus pound half-day yellowtail? Wow, some really nice big forkies and great action locally. We're going to tell you where. And also, is there a rebite on white sea bass in the Channel Islands? Captain Daniel Hadaway from the Island Spirit joins us at the end of today's report. You'll be able to find out what the Island Spirit is up to this weekend. Don't forget, kids fish free on Sunday on board the Island Spirit out of Ventura Sport Fishing. We'll go to the long range scene. We'll check out Mexico Lindo, and so much more. You know what time it is. It is time for the morning briefing. Good morning, my friends. Is that good? And my God, what a trip on the Vagabond. I just have to mention it. You saw it on the lead-in. The Vagabond on a 5-day trip runs 460 miles and puts a hurt on the yellowfin tuna, and they're headed back now with a magnificent catch. That was a gutsy move, but it paid off big time. Wow, what a trip. So much to talk about this morning. Don't forget, hit that like button. We deeply appreciate it when you do that. Share these videos with a friend, and don't forget to subscribe to the Friedman Adventures YouTube channel. Tick that little bell, and you'll be notified when there's new content. You can also follow us on Facebook, TikTok, Instagram. Well over 1 million views on our social media in the last month alone. In addition to everything we're doing on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, and Spotify, thank you so much for your great support, as it is deeply appreciated. A couple of spots left on our Amigo trip. Apollo sold out. If you'd like to join us October 6th through the 8th out of 22nd Street Landing, I'm telling you, those are our best weather months, and it is looking fantastic on this bluefin tuna. All right, let's get into it. Wow, there is so much to talk about. First of all, down in the Bay of LA, Bahia de Los Angeles, about a 400-mile drive down into Mexico. That's where you find the Bahia de Los Angeles. And Abdul Ryan absolutely loves fishing down there. He was down there recently and caught these magnificent paquetas, deep water fish. So good to eat and so tough to catch. I mean, you got to pull on these things hard, and that is a beautiful catch. Abdul, you are the man fishing all around our beautiful world. He's all over the place doing a great job. We move you up to Ensenada, which is only a 70-mile drive down the Baja Peninsula, and down in that neck of the woods, you can find a variety of different species. Offshore has been kind of hit and miss and more miss. It's tough to get a bluefin tuna bite down there right now. They're still seeing them. There's still plenty of fish around. There's some big yellowtails sometimes you'll encounter also, but for the most part, it's been difficult. A trolled Mad Mac lure is perhaps the best way to get a bite, but there's been a few bluefin taken on poppers and Diwasacanas and also by throwing a surface iron. But again, the bluefin bite overall has been slower. That brings people into the beach, into the coastal areas, down south at Santo Tomas. Great rock fishing, occasional flurries of barracuda down there. And then you get up closer to Ensenada proper, Isla Santo Tomas, the Santo Tomas Islands right there are pretty darn good right now. Todos Santos Island, I'm sorry. Todos Santos, right there off Ensenada. There's occasional barracuda flurries. There's still the possibility of a yellowtail underneath the birds. Bird schools of yellow's been roaming all around the bay all year long, and that is persisting into today. Along the beach, if you get in there, you can find some pretty good sand and calico bass fishing, along with a few barracuda and shallow water rockfish. Punta Banda, some good calico bass fishing. And the fallback right now is rockfish. And that's what we're seeing a lot of down in Ensenada right now. Great eating rockfish, plenty of them. The boys know what they're doing down there, so you can take advantage of that. Long range fishing. Let's talk about it for a moment. It can't get any better than it is right now. It's illustrated by the Vagabond, who made that gutsy move on a 5-day trip. In case you weren't listening at the very beginning, the Vagabond a few days ago was faced with a dilemma on Tanner and Cortez. The weather was snotty, crappy, jackass weather, as we call it. Horrible, windy, rough seas, and it just didn't look good. So the Vagabond made the gutsy move to go down the Baja Peninsula, to come out of San Diego, hang a left, and go 460 miles. That would leave him from 9 in the morning until roughly 6 o'clock in the evening to get the job done, and they got it done in less than that. 5-6 hours, limits of nice yellowfin tuna in the 30 to 60 pound class. That's where the long range boys are fishing right now, and they are having magnificent fishing. Now, when you go on a 7 or 8 day trip, you can hit that. Then you can go fish wahoo around the rocks. The wahoo fishing's been great for the Royal Polaris, the Independence, you name the Red Rooster 3, name the boat. They've been down there and putting a herd on the fish. There's also some good yellowtail zones, some of that yellowtail at night when you're fishing dropper loops, some of it in the daytime when you're flying lighting bait. Most of it is that way. And then coming home, they have the time to go into the Baja Coast where they have encountered some great calico bass fishing, big bass. They've also found some excellent white sea bass fishing, at times some halibut that have been on the bite, and plenty of rockfish. Wow. The long range season this year, the summertime 7-8 day trips, 5-day trips. If you look at the Vagabond, it's been spectacular. It has absolutely been magnificent. So some great stuff going on for our long range guys. If you have unfiled taxes, you're going to want to give our friend Tim Marquez a call right now. He'll take care of your tax problems. He's a trusted Friedman Adventures family member. He's a great guy, and Tim has got 35 years of doing this. And if you happen to be on the El Patron this morning, going to Catalina Island, they're on their way, you're going to be able to meet John Lopez from Efficient Heating and Air Conditioning. John's a great guy. Make sure you give him a big hug out there for me right now. He's out there with his lovely family, enjoying a day's fishing at Catalina Island. Give John a call if you have heating and or air conditioning needs. All right, really, really excellent long-range fishing right now. Tanner Cortez Bank, oh my goodness, it is like a lake out there. It's gorgeous weather after some rather rough and snotty weather. It has come down, and the boys are already catching bluefin tuna out there on Tanner and Cortez Bank, expecting that bite to fully rebound. There's been some good hits the last 24 hours out there. The nighttime bite is starting to come back on again. And also we are seeing some good daytime fishing here early on Friday morning. It's a fly line bait. It's mostly 25 to 60 pound bluefin tuna during the daytime. It's choosing a good hot bait. It's using a smaller hook. It's been a little bit on the hit and miss side. I guess I should go back to what it really is, and that's a plunker bite, where you don't have a wide open bite with everybody bit at the same time. You're just plunking away. One fish going, two fish going. Maybe you have three hook, four hook, and then maybe you go dry for a while, nothing. And then 5 minutes later, you get another one. The anglers who are getting bit are doing the little things right. Choosing a good hot bait, fishing lighter fluorocarbon, smaller hooks, sometimes changing their baits with great frequency. Other times it's a long soak. You'll determine that by being observant, seeing who's getting bit and how it's going down. So be observant also, and that'll pay big dividends. Now, I've talked about dropping your fluorocarbon down. I'm also going to talk about raising it up. In other words, fishing as heavy a line as those things will bite. That's what you want to do. They do have teeth, and they can chew you off. So you're on a fish for a half hour and it chews you off and you lose it right there at gaff, and man, that is frustrating. So fish as heavy as you can. If you have to go down, do it. You got to get a bite to catch a fish. So do that. That area is coming back to life. However, I do need to offer you this caveat, and that is I don't like Monday, Tuesday weather out on Tanner and Cortez. That's a ways out there still, but that forecast has been steady for a while now. Looks like we could get some more wind out there in that area. We'll keep our eyes on it. We're still in summer, and as I mentioned to you, the fall months are the best weather months of the year. Normally speaking, we're not to the fall chronologically quite yet, but we're hoping things are going to settle down out there. Coming back, starting to bite, should be a great weekend out there. We'll continue to watch that for you very, very closely. And that big fish is out there towards Santa Barbara Island on the Osborne Bank. That fish starting to bite again. Also, we'll keep our eyes on that. That weather looks like it's going to be pretty darn good. It's going to hang in there for a while. So some really great stuff going on. No question about that. Let us take you to the islands now. And we'll take you to the Coronado Islands starting down south where there's been Lupe is going by right now. There she is, out for her morning walk on a beautiful morning. Coronado Islands, there's a mix of yellowtail, and they're big yellows, and they're tough yellows, and they know how to get you into the structure. So you got to pull a mix of that with some bluefin tuna, and then a smattering of other stuff. There's some good calico bass fishing if you choose to focus on that. There's a little bit of bonita and barracuda, pretty good bonita fishing going on. But overall, it's those big yellows that the guys are after. 26 anglers on the Grande yesterday with 12 yellowtail, a halibut, 9 calico bass. They lost at least 20 yellowtail yesterday. Big, tough fish. And guys were fishing pretty light line. Now, remember, fish as heavy as you can. And talk to the guys. You walk on the Grande, just say, guys, what do I need to be fishing with? They saw what went on the day before. They're watching everything, and they'll advise you. Make friends with a crew member. They want you to catch fish. They are on your side. So make sure you introduce yourself and do that and be observant. They don't want you to fish anything lighter than 30-pound right now. So keep that in mind. Listen to those guys. They've got your best interest at heart. On board the San Diego, Brian Burrell from the Monte Carlo out of 22nd Street landing. He was out there. I think he had 3 of those yellows. Brian Burrell is not only one of the nicest guys in the world. Deckhand on the Monte Carlo, 22nd Street landing. So many of you know Brian. In fact, if you do know him, leave a comment down below about Brian Burrell. He's such a great guy. He had 3 yellows. He is such an extraordinarily great and gifted fisherman. He knows how to put the wood to him. 26 yellowtail on board the San Diego, tough to hook, and then tougher to land. So they're a little bit finicky, but man, if you're doing everything right like Brian, you'll come up with 3 yellows on a day like that. Brian Burrell really doing his thing and doing a great job, no question about that. Hopefully that light switch will go on a little bit more there at the islands. There's some nice yellows wandering around that place. San Clemente Island, we continue to have some pockets of squid there. If you can make squid, you have a chance to catch some white sea bass there at the island right now, some yellowtail there at the island, and that's before the sun comes up. After the sun comes up, you still have a shot at those species. In fact, the fly line sardine around Clemente producing good bass and a few yellowtail there, and there's plenty of rockfish. At Catalina Island, it's been scratchy. You know, there's a variety of fish there, but it's just been kind of a pick at the fish. A little bit of calico bass, occasional yellowtail, not very many, a little bit of barracuda, pretty good bonito fishing, probably That's what most of the guys are focused on right now. You could catch some sheephead and whitefish and rockfish. Kind of a day like that on the pursuit yesterday. Hopefully it'll pick up a little bit better and catch some more bass. Dropping that fluorocarbon down to 12 or 15 is a great way to get a bite on the bass. That always works fantastic. Choosing a good hot bait. I know it's like a broken record, but we've got to make sure you're doing things right. The El Patron headed out there right now, and you can get on the El Patron during the weekdays. They have special lower prices for you, and you should take advantage of it. Should be a great day out there with John Lopez and Efficient Heating and Air Conditioning. John's going to have a great day with his family. www. Long Beach Sport Fishing. That's Long Beach Sport Fishing. Before my voice cracked. .org. And get on the El Patron. So we'll keep our eyes on Catalina Island. Up there in the Channel Islands, are we seeing a white sea bass bite? Is it back on again? We've been noticing that for the last 48 hours, as you well know, and that is still going on in the Channel Islands. On the gray light yesterday, outstanding fishing. In fact, the gray light and Aloha Spirit combined for 29 white sea bass. 11 of those fish on the Aloha Spirit, 18 of those fish on board the gray light for limits on the WSBs. There you can see some of those sea bass, nice fish, starting to bite again. Hopefully this is the real deal, and we're back into the white sea bass. That is great news for the guys in the Channel Islands, and hopefully they'll be catching some more here this morning. A lot of that fish has been caught early in the day, like right before the sun comes up, and there's still a bite after that. So we'll continue to watch that for you very, very closely. Other guys up there are picking at the calico bass, catching some barracuda, and of course it's the rockfish that are dominating. You can always be guaranteed of some great rock fishing. Don't forget, at the end of today's report, Daniel Hadaway, the great captain of the Island Spirit from Ventura Sport Fishing, will be joining us. So keep that in mind. Daniel Hadaway at the end of today's report, and Daniel will share what they're up to on the Island Spirit this weekend on their half-day run. We'll continue to watch that for you very, very closely. Up there in Avila Beach and Morro Bay, some good rock fishing. San Francisco, weather permitting. There's albacore offshore, some really good halibut fishing still going on up there. Stripers being taken, and a lot of nice lingcod. Monterey and up there in San Francisco, we continue to see great lingcod fishing going on, and there is not a darn thing wrong with that. All right, let's bring it back and start talking about half-day fishing and the new Seaforth yesterday out of Seaforth Sport Fishing in San Diego. The half-day, but wow, 2 40-plus pound yellowtail on their morning run. Excellent big fish, just as big a local yellowtail as you're ever going to see. That was fantastic. They also been seeing some great bonito fishing there locally. Lots of calico bass, maybe quite a few shorts, but great action nonetheless. There's some rockfish to help fill things out. There's some great sand bass fishing. The Premier has been limiting out on sand bass on a regular basis. Calicos, as I mentioned, it's been a great local year in San Diego. You know, we kind of saw this, myself and Mackie, our camera guy. We were down in Ensenada several months ago and had spectacular local sand bass fishing down there. You know, catching one and having 6 fish follow it up to the surface, fishing down there with Paulina and her mom and her aunt. That was a lot of fun. My co-host down there in Ensenada. We saw all of that, and then that kind of worked its way up to San Diego and then stopped right there. Never got up into Long Beach, San Pedro, as you see behind me there. But man, that bite in San Diego just continues to impress. It's been very, very good, and it is continuing that way. Good stuff. Hey, if you'd like to get on board the Island Spirit up there out of Ventura Sport Fishing, you should do it. Kids fish free this Sunday. Take advantage of it and stay tuned for Daniel Hadaway. Make sure you give Ventura Sport Fishing a call at 805-676-3474 or visit them right now by going to venturasportfishing.com. Great local fishing down that way. Out there around Dana Point and Oceanside, there's some good bass fishing, also a lot of shorts, but good action, occasional halibut, some rockfish, sculpin, and whitefish here in the Long Beach, San Pedro area. Still mostly rockfish biting up here, along with the whitefish and the sculpin, every once in a while a few bass. But that has been the story here this year. I don't know what's up with that. There's been some good twilight fishing out of Marina del Rey for big sand bass. It's been pretty darn good on the nighttime bite. During the daytime, however, Redondo and Marina del Rey, mostly the sculpin rockfish, although the Redondo special has been catching more bonita. They had a couple of those big yellowtail the other day. Actually had one and lost a couple of others, but there's some decent surface action and some bass in the daytime for the Redondo special. So not bad at all. We'll continue to watch that for you very closely. Lobster season's right around the corner. I can save you 10% on your lobster hoop netting gear and everything else when you go to promarahi.com. Put in FA at checkout and save 10%. So some decent local fishing, especially down there in San Diego, where it has been absolutely spectacular. All right, in the surf, man, I got to tell you, there's a few corvina being taken, a few more, not wide open, and some barred perch around here and down around Huntington, Bolsa Chica. Small though, really, really small, like not even as big as the palm of your hand. But a little bit of corvina starting to bite down there around Huntington Beach. There's been some good catches. Guy by the name of R.K. Toji, he's took a month off of fishing. I don't know why he did, because he's an outstanding fisherman and loves being out here. Had a nice corvina and some of those small perch. Also, here in Surfside, we see some yellowfin, croaker, occasional halibut. And speaking of halibut, don't forget, Big Fish Bait and Tackle, they're giving away a custom, beautiful surf fishing rod every single month. And for this month, the month of September, you catch the biggest halibut in the surf, you get that free custom rod. Walk into the store, Big Fish Bait and Tackle. They will welcome you with open arms. Buy the ruler that you need to have, their official surf fishing ruler. Buy that. I think it's $8, and then you're in the contest every single month. This month, once again, it is for the largest halibut. You can pick up worms and all kinds of other great bait down there, and you can get gear for trout, right on up to big bluefin tuna, marlin, and so much more. Right on the corner of Pacific Coast Highway and Seal Beach Boulevard. Big Fish Bait and Tackle. Up there in the Santa Monica Bay, a little bit of corvina up there. It's been pretty good at times around the Topaz Rock Jetty down by the pier, and even over in Rats Beach up there in El Segundo. Pretty good yellowfin croaker fishing going on right now with some corvina also in that short water. They're right there. See that wave that's breaking right now? Those corvina are staging behind that and moving in, or they're right in front of it. Right there, a foot of water, 2 feet of water. That's where you're going to find your beans. They are foraging through that sand looking for sand crabs. And man, that is a lot of fun stalking those things and trying to get one of those little devils to bite. All right, Daniel Hottaway next. Don't go anywhere. What a great report and what a great weekend that looks that we are looking at for the next couple of days. Beautiful weather on Tanner and Cortez. That bluefin's biting this morning. Hopefully it's going to keep going on. What a story on the Vagabond. Big local yellowtail down there in San Diego, and some outstanding white sea bass fishing in the Channel Islands. Hey, have a great Friday and a wonderful week, and stay tuned for Daniel Hottaway, and I hope to see you really, really soon. And check in with my dear friend, Captain Daniel Hottaway of the Island Spirit. Daniel, you're looking good. How's everything going?
Doing great, Phil. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic because I'm talking to my buddy up there on one of my very favorite boats, the Island Spirit. Love fishing on board there. What's the buzz up there in the Channel Islands right now? I understand you've got some room on your Friday and Saturday trip coming up. How's that looking? What are you going to be targeting? And what's your weather like up there?
Yeah, we're actually chartered tomorrow for Friday, but we do have plenty of room for Saturday and Sunday, which is still going to be the kids fish free deal going on. Weather looks really good. We're excited for that. We dealt with a little bit of inclement weather our last couple trips, but weather looks real nice for this weekend, and we're excited. Going to be doing some bottom fishing to start out the day, and then Possibly try for some calico bass, sea bass, stuff like that. Go check out the kelp in the later part of the day there.
All right, that sounds really good to me. Overall, what are conditions like? Do you have warm water up there, or how's it looking?
Yeah, our water's definitely still on the warmer side. You know, high 60s, low 70s. So nice clean water. Um, not a lot of wind, so excited for that.
Yeah, absolutely. Cue Ball says hello to both of us, Daniel. Nice to
How you
have him
doing?
on board with us. Several people already watching and hitting that like button. We appreciate that
Mhm.
also. In terms of tackle, people need to be geared up for probably shallow water rockfish and then also the surface bite. So, uh, your bait, how's that been? Are they wise to bring some iron? Are they wise to bring some plastic lures? What do you say to all that?
Yeah, 100%. We've been getting a mix of anchovy and sardine in our bait receivers. So bring hooks anywhere from like size 2 to like 1.0 for your day hooks, and then maybe some Rio circle hooks for rock fishing. You know, a variety of torpedo sinkers, some as high as like 16 ounce for rock fishing, and then maybe some 8s and 10s for white fishing, and possibly even a smaller one like a 4 or 6 um, for if we fish halibut super shallow or something like that. So sliding sinkers have been working too as well. Bring a variety of sliders and pretty much all you need.
So one or two rods and you're good, right? And you can rent tackle
Yeah,
in case you're a novice angler, you want to give it a try. You can do that also.
yeah, absolutely. We have a lot of people that come out with us. Just rent a rod from the office, and the rental rods we have will you'll be able to catch anything we target all day with those.
Excellent. I don't want to get way out in front, but when does it go back to the deep water? Because you have no idea how many people I have just
Yeah.
yanking on my chain about that trip we ran out there to Hidden Reef, I think it was, and how
Mhm.
spectacular it was. Does that change like the middle of the month, something like that?
Changes on the 1st of October, so we're excited for that, and we'll put something together where we can take you guys out and do that again because it was a lot of fun the first time around. So really excited for that. We got about what today's the 10th of September or 11th? I don't know.
12th.
12th. Okay,
Yeah.
so yeah, a few more weeks and we'll be able to fish deep again. So excited for that.
Yeah, me too. I can't wait. Hey, Q Ball says he told his daughter about the kids fish free on Sundays and took them fishing a couple of weeks ago. Captain Daniel, they said they had the time of their lives. Thank you so much, Daniel. So, more happy customers on the Island Spirit doesn't surprise me.
That's awesome. Happy to have you guys out. Hope we can do it again.
It was his daughter and granddaughter. Man, that sounds like so much fun. And having kids out there is the absolute best. And these fish,
Oh yeah.
the ones you're catching, a lot of people don't know. Or, I mean, a lot of people do know, but this is some of the finest eating fish in the sea. Shallow water rockfish. Man,
Yeah.
you can make up some fish tacos. You can make up any number of different recipes, and they're all good.
Yeah, all these fish we have that they're super flaky and have that white meat. They're very versatile fish in terms of cooking them. You can pretty much do anything with it. So it's very popular, and yeah, we always get people even like calling the landing to ask how to cook them, or you know calling to say that, oh, we tried this recipe you guys suggested and it's so good we want to come back. So yeah, it's a really easy fish to cook and super delicious.
All right. Hey, let me just throw some species at you, different species, and you tell me, hey, no chance at all, or yeah, man, they're around, or I'm just gonna throw you and give a quick answer or a long. It doesn't matter.
Absolutely.
Barracuda,
Barracuda, haven't seen a whole lot of it lately, but yeah, it could happen again. The water's still warm.
yellowtail,
Definitely could happen. See some of that this time of year in the kelp for sure.
and calico bass fishing right now.
Yeah, absolutely.
Halibut, white sea bass. Any chance at that on your run?
There is a chance. We're gonna continue to try for that as well. Yeah.
All right, and then we've got just like go to the bank with the shallow water rockfish, man. That's as
Yeah.
long as you have good weather, man. It's hard to miss on that, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah. We can pretty much go and catch the rockfish and whitefish anytime. The whitefish has been picking up as well. We love fishing for those too.
All right. Hey, Cue Ball, man, you're going to have to hire him as your PR agent. He said, Ventura is the place, man. He's never been skunked up there. He said, never in 35 years,
There you go.
always catching fish with you guys, man. That's awesome.
Yeah, we I love fishing in Ventura. Nothing like it.
I know. And now you got well, you don't have her, but my niece is right up there. So I was mentioning the other day how nice it is that guys come in from your trips and they send me a note and said, "Hey, can I take care of Connie today?" So the doctor appreciates all that. I'll
There you
guarantee you that.
go.
And hey, Daniel, one of the drop-off places for our used fishing tackle drive for the kids on Cedros Island is Ventura Sport Fishing. I just want to say
Awesome.
thank
Yeah,
you to you and everybody up there, Saul and Tucker. Thank you very much for making that happen.
absolutely. Happy to, you're doing really good stuff with that, so happy to be a part of it.
Thank you so much. All right. Anything else, man, that I failed to ask you about? It's time to go fishing on the Island Spirit Saturday and Sunday.
Yeah, that's about it. We're a definite go for both Saturday and Sunday. Still got plenty of room on both those trips, and think we're also a definite go next Friday. And I mean, we're open party all week long. Just need to get to about 10 to a dozen reservations or so. There's a couple days where we have a few reservations, and definitely need more. So you guys want to come fishing, you can call the landing. It's 805-676-3474. And Sal or one of the other office staff members are going to be more than happy to answer any questions you guys have and help you book a spot.
Excellent. Hey, there's a guy we both know, Doug Tilt.
Yep,
Great
Doug's
guy.
the
And
man.
I've been meaning to call Doug since we're on here live right now. I might as well make my phone call to him right now. Doug, I've been meaning to call you and I just haven't gotten a chance. I hope you're doing well. I'll catch you up with you after I'm all finished up here with Daniel for sure. Good to see you here. All right, Daniel, 805-676
Mhm.
3474 or venturasportfishing.com. Of course, I got that memorized because every morning on the morning briefing, man, I'm hitting that hard. And
Appreciate
it's
it.
such a pleasure to do that because every time I send people your way, I usually get a note back or a phone call or something saying you were right. It was fantastic.
Really appreciate it, Phil. Happy to have you guys out with us, and hope we see you guys soon. Be fishing
Daniel,
all weekend long.
have a great day and even a better tomorrow on your charter and then a wonderful weekend with the open party people that I know are going to have a lot of fun with you.
Absolutely. Thank you guys so much. Have a good day.
Take care, Daniel.
Alrighty. Goodbye, Phil.